So, hi everyone. Can you hear me all?
Yes.
Cool.
Loud and clear.
Great. So, I'm really glad to have you all with us here today, because this is, let's say, the announcement of a new era in the Eternity community, because we can finally start with our newest program, æUnited, which you have decided, you as a community have made a voting on superhero.com. For all of you who didn't check the news, you can find all of it on our blog and on the forum as well. We are really glad to have for the first time such a great involvement from the community in the, let's say, creation of this new program. And we invited you all here today so we can present you the ideas of this new program, and also to give you the room and space to give your feedback and ideas for this newest program. And so we can keep on co-creating this program, not just for the name, but for many more things, for the bounties, for the way we engage with you, and for how you wish æUnited to be. I think we want to design æUnited in the way that it fits best with the Eternity community, and so we can grow and reach our goals together. So first of all, I would love to hear from you if you're here on this call. Like how you like the name, and just to hear your name, like if you're here and if you want to speak up, like what's your opinion about æUnited?
Okay, Eric. Some things don't change. Never change. Everybody perch high. Okay. Hi. I'm speaking from Caracas, Venezuela. My name's Juan Carlos. And to those of you that don't know me, I've been with aeternity since the beginning of this project. We've gone through many phases, and I've always followed Eric's lead. So yeah, I think it's pretty nice. æUnited. I think it talks about this one big effort that we all have to make in order to show eternity and its features to the world. And well, welcome everybody. Hope to hear from you guys.
Great to have you here, Juan Carlos. You've been a great support for the ecosystem really for years already, and you're also the lead ambassador for Venezuela. And I remember also back in the day, like we brought so many people in from Venezuela thanks to you and your team of ambassadors there. And I really appreciate all of your efforts, and would love to have you again with us also in æUnited.
Thanks.
Someone commented here on the chat that United sounds good, but it reminds him or her of a football club. But I mean, this is more than just a football club. It's about the united efforts for ecosystem, you know, and to be in this together, like in this big blockchain adventure. By the way, is Pana here? Would be really awesome to have him or her here. Or if not, Pana will join later, because Pana was the inventor of the name. It would be really awesome to also hear his side of the story about æUnited, because he proposed the name. What was his, let's say, first thoughts about the name? And now, of course, it's growing in the adoption. Also, everyone will fill the name with their own ideas. But just to also hear a small summary from the inventor. In any case, I would like to proceed and to tell you a little bit about the agenda today. So we will first talk about also a little bit about the review of past community contribution programs in Eternity, and also hear from more ambassadors about their efforts and their work and contributions within the Eternity ecosystem. And then we will also hear from some of our Eternity team leads about the bounties they have proposed and published that are now part of this new bounty program within æUnited. And finally, we'll have an open Q&A session for to give you all the space for your questions and feedback that you want. to resolve open questions and just in general to hear your feedback about æUnited. So yeah, I would like to first start by showing you a little bit, let's say, impressions from our past ambassador program. So let me change the screen 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, here's just like short reminder of what we had before the æUnited ambassador program. So the last activity we had there was, let's say, in the end of 2020 and beginning of 2021, where we had mostly 21 active ambassadors coming from Nigeria, Spain, Venezuela, Tanzania, China, Ireland, India, Colombia, Kenya, Turkey, Canada, and Uganda. So you can imagine people from all around, all the corners of the world. And yeah, spreading the word about eternity and also bringing eternity codes to, let's say, groups of developers and builders all around the world to, yeah, grow more apps and more ideas for evolving the whole ecosystem, like really in all parts of the world. And this was just, for example, one impression from a panel discussion we had with some of our lead ambassadors at our first Eternity conference in 2019. And here, let's say, some key contributions by our ambassadors that have been made in the last years, let's say. For example, in the Nigerian community, we had big online events, for example, with the Ekiti community, Superhero League events, with about just in general blockchain, cryptocurrencies, but also about building open source with Eternity. We had the Venezuelan community present, also about building and entrepreneurship with Eternity in Venezuela. We had a developer workshop online with our Bangalore ambassador, as well as meetups in Tanzania and more events in Nigeria. So even in the times of the pandemic, we had lots of involvement from our ambassadors all over the world in this hard time to even continue building with our communities virtually and online. We had support with our ecosystem research, with website translations, moderation of the Spanish Telegram group. We had plenty of tutorials as well as documentation updates thanks to our ambassadors. Some of these you can see here, like the Oracles tutorial, to-do list tutorial, Sophia examples. You can go into all of this if you want, and you can find this on the forum, this review. I will also share the link here in this group, in the chat. And also plenty of tools have been created thanks to our community. Like, for example, the Java SDK and analytics, but also a signaling tool, which can be used for the SDK, and also plenty of hackathon finalists were ambassadors or came in through the, let's say, workings of ambassadors. You can see 7 of the finalists of the Human DeFi hack were originally, let's say, developers inside of the ambassador program, and now also with the latest Akshwani hack, plenty of the finalists were also coming through the ambassador program. So you will see more and more of the contributions taking, let's say, taking their growth and becoming more and more evolved. So we hope to also see new contributors coming in now through æUnited. So this was for now, let's say, the review of what we had before. So you can see in this ambassador program, we had a little bit of a closed community before. But now with æUnited, the idea is that really anyone can join in, and you can simply contribute by using your chain name. You know, you don't need to share your real life identity anymore in order to contribute. I think in this crypto world, we want to allow people to be as anonymous as possible, and people should be able to contribute just by sharing their chain name in the GitHub repo, where they, for example, have code contributions, or simply organize, let's say, with just code pushed on the GitHub repo. So for this, I would like to also show you how the new Bounties repo is structured, where we have our bounties listed for this new æUnited program, which I hope you can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So here you have an overview of our newest Bounties repo on the aeternity GitHub, where you can see, let's say, an overview of the publicly listed bounties that anyone can contribute on. And yeah, before I proceed with the details, I would like to ask if we have here our team leads. Kino, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the bounties that we have here. I will just open, for example, the first one about the chain listener.
Sure. So in summary, what we're trying to do here with this bounty is we already have a chain listener in the superhero backend in place. So maybe to grab a little bit of a bigger piece, for those who don't know what the tipping community backend is all about, basically it's the backbone for the superhero website. So we aggregate data, we collect information from the blockchain, we collect information from the superhero community, and we store it in databases for easy search, easy access, so that the superhero website should feel super responsive. And part of that is already based on real-time events from the blockchains, but chain names are not. So right now what happens is we periodically just query all the information that the chain names, like we query all active chain names from the middleware every, I think, 30 minutes or an hour. And while this is obviously enough for the general overview, it doesn't feel very responsive when you register a chain name. You go through the auction finishes, you own the chain name, you set the pointer, and then you post something on Superhero, for example, to celebrate your new chain name, and you still get shown your address because it takes time for the backend to catch up. And what we want is just a piece of software in our backend that basically listens to these finished auctions and pointer updates, so that we can, like, in the backend immediately update the database to reflect those changes in real time. And there is already a chain listener in place that takes care of processing certain events, but we would basically need to listen to a new transaction type for all of these transactions, and then determine which ones are relevant, and then update our internal cache accordingly. Yeah, so that's the bounty.
Cool. So that's for the chain listener, and then we also have another superhero bounty, the Favicon. Maybe you can tell us more about this.
Yeah. So as you're familiar, if you've already used the superhero project, is whenever you scroll through the feed and people tip certain URLs, we show a quick summary. So we show like a preview of the website, we show a screenshot or image of the website or the article that you've tipped. And what we're trying to do here is we just try to extend this information. So most websites serve a favicon. So this, like, if you don't know what it is, it's this tiny image that you can see almost everywhere, and it's almost always at the top left of your browser tab. But the problem with this is that favicons come in a range of different sizes and a range of different formats, and so there is some logic required to check if it has a suitable size. So if it's like big enough to be useful for us, if it has a format that we can use it in, and then also we back up all of our information to IPFS. There's already a wrapper for this, so this should be fairly easy. But generally, what we want to do is we want to have all of the favicons queried with the website content, and then we want an endpoint where we can get those favicons from. This will be then used in the superhero website and in the wallet, and might continue to be another bounty, but this is for now a fixed set of tasks where you only query it and you save it.
Cool. And then we also have another bounty, which is not from superhero, but more in DevTools range. But I think you can also talk about this, Kino, as you worked with this before for the boilerplate.
Yes, exactly. So the boilerplate is, for those who are interested in building apps on Eternity, it's a very, very good starting point. So basically it uses the SDK and it provides some general logic. So we start out initializing the SDK for you. We grab the account from the wallet if the wallet is connected, and more. And this boilerplate is the foundation of some of the bigger apps that we've built, like the governance and the graffiti app as well. And for now, we've been doing the updates manually, but what we would like to do is we would like to keep the boilerplate up to date. So this now requires a little bit of a bigger cleanup effort. So we have to make sure that the boilerplate is updated with the latest SDK. One of the requirements is also that it works with Base App and the superhero wallet. A general dependency update. This shouldn't be too hard, except maybe for Vue CLI. And we would also like to switch the CI to GitHub Actions. It's all possible. All the CI runs are already in there. They just need to be rewritten a bit to work with GitHub Actions. And but this will probably be a recurring theme. So once this bounty is done, there will be in the future more things to update, more things to maintain. So also here there will likely be follow-up bounties at some point.
Cool.
Yeah, I can also comment on that additionally. So this is specifically for Vue.js. So yeah, many people would like to use other frameworks here. So if this is done, we can extend that and let you or the community provide other boilerplates for Angular, React, or whatever frameworks there exist out there that you would like to build with, or that we think are useful.
Exactly.
Thanks, Marco. Now that you're here also, maybe you can also speak a few words about our other bounty for DevTools, which is even already worked on, about the migration backend.
Yes, so I think many people noticed in the past that there was a lot of trouble around the migration application, and yeah, there were some issues in the backend that we were using the Go SDK, and actually at the moment the only actively maintained SDK right now remains the JavaScript SDK. This can also change. So if you seriously need an SDK being developed on, you can write us in the forum, tell us what language you need to have supported. There is a ground base, but everything is not up to date right now. So in the past, there was a dedicated team for all of that stuff. That's currently not the case. We can rebuild this all, but we need to know what you really need and what the community wants to see. And yeah, everybody is welcome to also fork those old projects and contribute. Doesn't necessarily have to be a bounty there, but yeah. In this case, we just wanted to migrate the Go backend right now as it is to Node.js, and yeah, Ivan Yot from the community already picked that up and provided a pull request for that. I wasn't able to review for the moment, but yeah, it's already done somehow, and this will be updated, and I will make sure after that we have a working token migration application again. So for me, this is really important stuff, and I think this is also something where Eternity stands out, because in the past I noticed other projects where they said, okay, we have a deadline for migrating our tokens, etc. And at some point, if you didn't follow the project, you lost your coins because you didn't observe that actively. And yeah, in our case, it's like that. As long as you have those old tokens on Ethereum and you didn't lose your key, you will always be able to migrate them to Eternity. So yeah, with the finishing of this bounty, we will be able to ensure this works properly again. And there is another upcoming bounty which we defined today. You can look at the issues.
Is it already live?
It's not included in the list and the README, but it's already, we already have the issue for that. So if you
let me find it. Ah, perfect.
Yeah, so as many of you hopefully know, we had the Iris protocol upgrade back then a few months ago, and there were new crypto primitives introduced, and now we have the capabilities on protocol level to support zero knowledge proof transactions. And yeah, we want to see that somehow, and the most reasonable thing to do here is build an application that enables private transactions. So this is a really tough task. We need really experts in that space here, and we hope that somebody in the community is either be able to pick that up somehow or knows anybody who wants to build that. We also know that this requires a lot of work, so the bounty will be quite bigger than the other bounties. I will put the numbers on there later on, but it will be like around that biggest prize pool of the hackathon. So it will be around 10K USD in that area. And if you think that's not sufficient and you really want to build that, let us know. Yeah.
Wow.
I would really love to see that.
Yeah, I think it will be also great. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe I can also answer the question of Annie here that asked if a team can do this. I mean, if you and the team agree up on sharing the payout for the bounty, yeah, why not? You always can act in a team and apply for the for the bounty here as a team. So in this specific case, I don't think it makes sense to build this on your own. So you should probably have a team building that, and yeah, it would be great.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to add also about in general this bounty. I think it will be a really, really great advance of the ecosystem in general if we have a zero knowledge proof use case, let's say, to show how advanced the protocol already is, and yeah, how to make sense of it.
There's another question whether the bounty can be assigned to multiple persons / teams at the same time. Somebody, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, I will join now also in the chat.
Personally, I don't think it makes sense to do that, because then you compete with each other. So the approach is more like we updated the rules for the bounties today. So assuming a bigger bounty like this will take some time, right? Then we want to have bi-weekly updates from you so we can follow the progress. If we see you are still working on that and it's going forward, that's all fine. And if we notice you don't work on the stuff anymore and you don't respond to our questions regarding the bounty, then you are at risk of losing the assignment, and then we will make it free again and somebody else or another team can assign to that bounty again. But if you provide the updates and you respond to our questions, no problem.
Annie speaking. Hi. Before we proceed and going in deep and answer on all the questions, just want to mention that Pana is here because on the beginning of the meeting we mentioned and asked for her, so that's why I'm interrupting. So giving back over to Eric. Thank you, Marco, for answer.
Hi, Pana. Are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess Pana is still not connected. No worries. I also wanted to proceed a little bit to explain you how the general procedure works for the bounties. So going back to the GitHub overview, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So basically, you see here, first of all, like the bounties available. We will, of course, update this, and there will be more and more bounties also coming here in this list. You will also see immediately which one is still open or which one's already being worked on. So in this case, for example, we can just have a look at how this looks like with token migration backend to see a little bit the process. So here, for example, Jivanjot made a comment that he would like to go for this bounty, and he provided a deadline. And yeah, basically Marco here checked on his progress, and there's, I think, another thread where you also see how this continued. But we basically check for the bi-weekly updates on this bounty, and in case someone is idle or cannot keep the deadline or needs to extend the deadline, we will see if this person can continue working on the bounty, or if it might make sense to assign the bounty to someone else to make it public again, just like Marco mentioned. And once the pull request was approved on GitHub, this is basically like the approval. If it was merged, you can basically fill in a form, which you can see here. Yeah, where you can simply give details. You don't need to use your real name. You can also use a pseudonym here, and it's really not necessary to give your real life details here. But then you just go on and proceed and show which bounty you finished, and you fill in an invoice, and we'll proceed, let's say, with the whole payout. And just in case there's like some confusion, here the bounties are quantified in Swiss francs, because on the day of the payout of the bounty, the reward will be calculated in A tokens. So on the same day of the payout, it will be converted. So no worries if there's like a time delay between the day you send in your invoice when you finish, or when your bounty was merged and approved. The conversion will be done on the same day, so there will be no differences, let's say, because of sudden price change or something like that. So yeah, basically you go through the form, and you need to include your Eternity wallet address. And there, if you have any questions, we can also assist you and show you which wallet addresses you can use. You can also see it, of course, on æternity.com, which are the official wallets, but we, of course, suggest wallets like Superhero, like AirGap, and definitely no exchange wallets. You should always try to use an individual wallet to not have any security issues with centralized exchanges. Please try to have your control over your private keys and not to give it to the exchanges. And yeah, if you have any further questions, you can of course always reach out to me. Just send me an email, or yeah, ping me anywhere on Discord, on Telegram, on the forum, wherever. And of course, there will be more calls like this one today, where we can also just have open question sessions to resolve all your questions, and of course also hear your feedback. And yeah, I think so much for the procedure. You can have a look afterwards and read through it in peace. And yeah, I think now we want to hear you. I think we have quite a lot of people here in this room. So yeah, I want to hear more people talking than just me. First of all, Panna, are you here? I think Panna's having issues with his mic. Anyways, I think we can start going through the questions. So before I read through all of the chat, is there anyone who wants to speak up and just say a few words, or just say his or her question? Yeah, hi, Undystopia Chain, you can speak up.
Hey guys, I'm gonna show my face too. Is it any? Yeah, I've been asking about like the general process of how bounties are being put out, and if you can propose bounties, or if you just should go for grant applications, if you want to do different stuff than the technical bounties out there, and how can anyone contribute as part of the United apart from going for the bounties? Thank you.
So yes, there's of course the process separately from the bounties that are proposed here within æUnited, which is the grant application with the foundation. I will show you a quick screen share also to see where you can find that. 1 sec.
Ani just pasted a link to the chat, so I got that.
Yeah, okay, I think that's also easier. So there's a grant application template where you can just send in your proposal, and there's a whole different process for foundation grants, which you can also read through. Here, sharing you the link here in the chat. So yeah, that's a little bit longer the process to get the approval, of course, but there you can of course propose your own ideas for contributions as well, and just directly get the approval for your own project that you want to be working on. Of course, also within æUnited, we also want to hear your opinions and ideas for new bounties. Yeah, I guess if it's like a larger project, it might make sense to go directly for the foundation.
Thank you.
Anyone else wants to speak up? Hi there, Barineka, you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I don't know. I think most of the bounties and they're more technical, and like I don't know, other persons can't actually approach these bounties. Was it just created for only the technical part of it's just technical. So I don't know, maybe for those who want to do something less technical, I think there should be like a bounty for them too.
Yeah, maybe you can tell your ideas, what kind of bounties you would like to be working on.
Okay. Noun, or maybe I'll send that over to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, just to discuss a little bit.
Maybe we can have bounties of, maybe videos of people, just do a little video about the Eternity blockchain, like an overview. You can do videos, you can do stickers, which we can use for the community, like Telegram or maybe Discord, design stickers. And maybe we have translations. We also have, more like referring people to the community, more like bring friends over to the community to keep it active, Those are different bounties we can actually work on. Then maybe, some retweets, stuff like that. We can actually do that too. But if it's more technical, no problem. But just wanted to suggest that. Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, to directly answer on that question, for now it will be only developer bounties. But maybe in the future, when we see also the success of the current program with this bounty, we can also work on reincorporating non-developer bounties again. Though, yeah, for now it's not planned. But yeah, in any case, I will let you know and stay tuned if there are non-developer bounties available again. But I think we can, in general, also write these ideas and proposals also on the forum, for example, if you want to work on something particularly. And if there's, for example, a bigger project, you can also, just like I mentioned to Undystopia, write an application to the foundation, of course. But yeah, for let's say stickers or like creating videos or articles and these kind of things, this is not planned for now, but it would be maybe something good to have in the future. Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Then I see here in the chat, okay, working through all of the different questions. There was one question if æUnited will replace the ambassador program. Yes. For now, æUnited is the new public program where anyone can contribute equally. And the bounties that are listed also on the æUnited page are the ones that are available. And let's say all of sorry, can you mute, please? Whoever was just making noise. Okay, thanks. Yeah, all of the bounties that are in this GitHub repo are the ones available. And if you have proposals or ideas, then you can just also create an issue in this GitHub repo to suggest new bounties, or just ping me, or just write a new thread on the forum as well, of course. And yeah, the idea is really to have these bounties available to everyone equally. It's not just for the group of ambassadors, even though ambassadors, of course, will get the first, let's say that they will get priority if they apply. If there are many people applying for the same bounty, ambassadors will have the preference. And of course, we will still have, let's say, more new things coming up also for our ambassadors, and possibly even also bounties in the future where it will be only for ambassadors. So this is not planned right now. But I think in general, you will of course always be our historical main contributors, and we will give you the preference in these new bounties as well.
Hi there, everyone. Sorry about my issues with my mic. I am here now.
Hey, great to have you, Pana. Yeah, now that you're here, maybe you can tell us a little bit, like how do you feel like after æUnited was chosen as the final name of the program, and what was your idea for when you proposed the name?
Yeah, I feel happy with that. The name is a really strong name. æUnited, it says a lot about we can build it together. And I don't know, I think that it's a really strong name.
But one question, did you think about a specific football club when you had this idea coming up, or did you have some other idea for United?
I think that when energy, I don't know how to express it, but when people unite, the movement is stronger. So I think that at that moment, I thought that we need to link together power of the community.
Like the united forces of eternity.
Yeah, united forces, a bigger and stronger movement. I think that that is the idea of the name.
Anita, you want to say something?
Yes, I would like to thank Pana, especially. Sorry for I previously said she because I wasn't sure. We were just talking on the chat. But anyway, I wanted to thank you because actually you are doing that. You bring us united. You're super active in all our community chats, and me as a community member just want to thank you now to use this opportunity. You are here for good communication and content feedback provided from your side. Thanks. And also for the name. Great
welcome,
proposal.
welcome.
Someone just mentioned æUnited's more peaceful than army.
Yeah, it is. I was thinking about to present myself and tell us tell you a short story what I live in. I bought my first coins of Eternity at an important centralized exchange a few years ago. Just hold them up to receive the list notification of that place. So then I decided to move them to Gate.io. Then just make some research of what's happening at Eternity project. And at one point, I decided to get involved, and I bought some coins more. I love the feeling of community. United is about that. I get involved and hear what happens every day. I think it's all about the process. That is the process of that things happens. Those days I was writing a blockchain game that involved tokens, NFTs, AR, augmented reality, geolocalization, and a thing that I call user cross interaction with brands. And brands just supporting all of that. I dive deeper into Eternity and choose AE to build that game. 1 month later, the game team dissolved and the project went to standby. At these days, I am open to experiment what day-to-day happens here at Eternity. And I'm knowing people, and I feel deeper and deeper involved every week. Here we are, æUnited.
Awesome. Yeah, I will be really happy to also have you contributing in the new program, Pana. Or I know maybe it's a bit too technical, but in any case, you can help us to find contributors who would like to also be part of this new program. And of course, always ideate with you about, let's say, the new directions in the program. And I'm really, really glad you joined our community, because I see you're a really dynamic person, and I love your ideas. And I'd really love to also see this game idea come to life. Maybe there's also potential use case now with the new NFT token standard coming up. And of course, making usage of oracles on the Eternity blockchain, or even of state channels. Let's see.
Yeah, state channels, that's the thing that bring me to Eternity as a first thing that trapped me into Eternity. And then when I went deeper, I saw a lot interesting things, new things And I think that Eternity is a good project and very people very compromised. I love that the movement. I love the movement.
You said the moon?
No, the movement.
Okay.
Movement.
Sorry, I heard moon. Sorry.
Hey, Eric, I think
Hey there.
Pana got the name from a 70s song that's called United We Stand. I don't know if you've heard it.
No, I don't.
No? Well, it comes right into hand because it says like, united we stand, divided we fall. And if our backs should be against the wall, we'll be together or something like that. So that could be our own song for the Eternity.
Yeah, I think that the community projects at these days, they haven't the pressure of big exchanges and shady hands behind. And I think that projects need united. All community projects need unite and get bigger, stronger, and faster, and and fight back to the bigger exchanges. Centralization is not global. We need decentralization as global. Or no sé, I think that that is the thing, no?
Yeah, most definitely. I've mentioned this to Eric several times before. I'm going to do it again. I know that this is a huge technical battle, and I understand that Eternity has been focused mostly on technical stuff the past couple of years. But I think that this is a battle that has different fronts and should be taken care of in that manner. I'm not against having bounties only for technical stuff, even though they're more time consuming than other bounties, other kind of bounties. But I think that the Eternity team would not have to put aside the communicational efforts, the marketing efforts, because I still don't make any sense of other projects having less features, less interesting features than Eternity, and their price just blowing up to the moon. And I have to be like very firm on this, but I think there's a misunderstanding about Eternity in the general community, and I'm not talking about technical stuff. I'm talking about the general public, crypto enthusiasts. I don't know why there's not that much traction on the Eternity project than as others. I mean, take for example Polkadot. They came out just about a year ago or something like that, and they're already, I don't know, $30-something per share, per token. There's Solana, which has had a huge bull run and almost got to $200, and everybody's talking about those projects. I mean, I know that technical stuff is definitely useful and should be taken care of, but the Eternity team must focus also on letting their project and their features and their strengths known to the community. That's I've been saying this over and over to Eric, but I feel that Johnny is still more focused on the technical side than on the, let's be clear, on the sales. We have to sell the project. We have to make people more interested in what things they can achieve and what things they can do with this project, with this blockchain project, than just the technical stuff that's that's just for a limited amount of people that have that knowledge and that can appreciate all that technical stuff to the level that you guys want.
So 3 people raised their hands. I will just take them in the same order I see in the pop-up here. Anita, then Marco, then Jan.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Juan, but I don't have, I want to completely start a new topic, so maybe Marco Juan wants to answer on this, so I will let them speak first.
All right. Yeah, I definitely agree on that side, though I'm more the technical person here, so I think tooling for developers is really, really, really important, and we are trying to figure out how to improve that. I absolutely agree. The other part, we also need that, but what helps a lot in that sense is, in my opinion, that upcoming NFT standard that is coming. This will be something people can play around with. If there is, if we have a standard there, if we have a easy possibility to create those tokens and to somehow visualize them, it's not there yet, but I think that will be there in the short term. So you will have the tools to play around with that. And NFT is one thing, and I think the other thing that is more user-centric stuff, and what I wanted to see that almost 2 years ago, and this is an ANS marketplace, something like that in that regard. So you can speculate on ANS names and something like that. This is more people can play around with, right? So Big Tree was asking today what he should do with his ANS names. But this is something I would definitely like to see. And in the forum, I answered that. So there is currently, we have a few issues on the SDK side on that side. So if this is fixed, I provided an example in the App Sophia examples repository. There is an open draft. So if all is fixed and this draft is merged, you will see how to use delegated signatures to make use of ANS names in smart contracts, and this will allow to quite easily build an ANS marketplace that is really trustworthy and reliable. So if this is something somebody of the community wants to tackle, then yeah, that's also something I personally am looking for, and this would be something you could really use. And there is another thing with the state channel demo that we wanted to provide in the past. Somehow this didn't work. So, I mean, the demo is working. You can play around with it if you know how to start it, how to run it locally. But it's, yeah, you again need to be a technical guy to play around with that. And yeah, we need to come over this and provide a easy usable interface to play around for the community. Yeah, so this from my side about these specific topics in the adoption stuff. And yeah, I think also the NFT thing I mentioned is something we can really use for marketing, and I guess there is some proposal, but we will see.
Jan, you want to go next?
Yeah. Hi, guys. So basically, I wanted to echo JC's thoughts, what he had mentioned earlier, but a little bit more on the education side. That's been like my primary thing in the crypto space or in the blockchain space. Even if there are developers who are technical, and I have brought a couple of technical folks to the Aeternity ecosystem. One thing I always see like a blocker for them to progress with their actual projects or converting your hackathon project into a product sort of thing is the lack of documentation examples. I mean, I know now that Nikita has been working on building a lot of really cool YouTube videos. That's awesome. But I think we genuinely need to just go out there and incentivize people for learning. Now, in the blockchain space, if you see all of these different chains that were named, be it Polkadot, Solana, Layer 2, Polygon, or whatever is out there, everybody is trying to get people to learn. And the only way to do that, simply because there are too many protocols, one of the best ways to do that, I would say, is to incentivize folks to learn. It could be a small thing. It could be like just giving an NFT, right? How Marco had mentioned, like, they create, they program something, they write 1 or 2 contracts, and then they, just get an NFT at the end of it if they complete it successfully. Just some small tidbits, tutorials like that. I think it would be really helpful. That's why I mentioned in the comments as well that I know there was some significant work done with the AE Academy. I think the AE Kitty, their team had started this or put up stuff. But actually having a team to work on that, create a very small educational portal. It could be on the Eternity homepage itself, and just have, like, a couple of rounds to go through, because as everybody mentioned, there is a lot of focus on the technical elements, and there are some really good technical elements which are not found in other layer 1 protocols. Like, we have inbuilt oracles, we have state channels, we have some really technically advanced elements that can be beneficial for folks who want to build using the inherent characteristics of blockchain. But for them to learn those technical elements, I feel like there is a bit of a barrier, because already blockchain can be overwhelming even for full stack developers in the ecosystem. And the moment they start seeing like a lot of complicated stuff like state channels or oracles, what are they doing, if things are not broken down for them well enough, it just becomes a barrier, and people tend to just move away. Then, okay, this is not easy enough for me to develop, why should I spend time developing on it? I think this part, I feel like it has to be tackled, especially if we are focusing on more and more technical inflow. Then we need to ensure that we are able to even set up like something which is easy to onboard developers. I think the AE jam sessions are a really great idea, but I don't know if they are focused on, like, just giving them a portal. Whenever you have time, just go and learn something. You will get maybe some 10 AE coins, or you will get 12 AE coins. People always go and learn. So that is definitely one thing. And second, I think JC already shed a light on it, developer tooling. We really need like good amount of developer tools, kind of wrappers, which will just, so there are a lot of layer 1 protocols right now where you can spin up an entire app within 10 minutes. You can write a front end, you can connect to the contracts, and voila, you're done. And it's all like very, very straightforward and very simple. Like, it's in React.js, or like you have Node.js backend connecting to the contracts and stuff. So I think we need to have that. We need to reach there. I know it's a path that we have already started working on, but that would also definitely help encourage more developers to build on top. So yeah, that's pretty much from my end.
Jivandrot is next. Jivandrot, are you here? Okay, if you're not here, then I would give the word next to Marco.
Yeah, absolutely agree with what Jan said. But yeah, as you already mentioned, we are working on that, and we are going that path. We are not moving quickly enough there, I can agree, but we are trying to figure out how to overcome this and get faster or ship the stuff we want to build faster out. What's really one more important point we are currently working on is the dev mode. So currently, if you want to start developing, you need to run a local node that mines. So that it's just wasting energy or CPU locally, and it's really slow. You really need to mine it locally. You can increase it, but the testing stuff, it's damn slow. So that will be improved very soon. We will provide a dev mode, and then you will have the ability to have instant mining locally, and yeah, you don't rely on that anymore. So that will, for the developers again, increase the productivity there, and that's one point why I mentioned that. So if we have all those templates, we provide this bounty for the boilerplate. You said it's not easy to create a front end, connect to wallet, etc. That boilerplate that we provided in the bounty section is exactly for that, because there you get a boilerplate with a front end included with the SDK, where you have an built-in wallet support for the superhero wallet. So you have all that stuff. Sure, you need to provide a contract then, but an experienced developer that seriously wants to build on it will figure out easily and get started easily then. Just to add that additional information there.
Thanks, Mark. Jivanjot, are you here now? Then I think next was Big Tree Chain. Are you here? One, two, three. Then next would be Guillermo.
Hello, I am here.
Hey there.
Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. My question is about there is any way to create maybe something like a tutoring, maybe for technical bounties, because I think we have people with the background, the technical background, but these people don't have the time to develop these bounties, yeah. And in the other hand, we have people with maybe a little background, or maybe a medium background, and these people have the time. There is any way to create maybe a tutoring, or if some people could advise the people who wants to participate in this kind of bounties, because we have this problem. People who have the ability to develop always are busy, and people who have the time don't have the enough developed background, and always happens the same thing. This is my question.
I guess that would be more or less what the jam sessions are. Isn't that right, Eric?
Yeah.
I think maybe more personal. For example, for each bounty, one header that could advise you in a specific topics. Because, for example, I could work in one of these topics, but I have maybe an specific ideas how we can start. Maybe if I can share a couple of emails with my advisor, it could be work. Yeah. I think for each bounty, there is one advisor, or there is a person who has the background to explain how you can deploy, how you can develop this.
I think if you can combine this with the speaker talking about examples, I think it's a very good combination, because if you make the bounty, then you make those bounties because there's not much time for tutoring. But if you have examples and you create a bounty for examples, to make examples for basic things to more advanced, then it's very easy to get started. So if you have a little background, you can use those simple examples to get started. And if you have a more advanced developing background, you can start with those more advanced examples. So I think a set of examples to start coding and to start learning, I think that would be great, and maybe combines those two issues at once. Yeah. Could be.
Marco?
You heard that examples thing. I mean, yeah, we all want to have good examples. Absolutely agree. If we can keep that somehow separated from different target groups, that's also great. But in general, it's the most important thing for me. If I look at our repositories, at everything we have, there are still lots of outdated stuff. We still have some missing links somewhere. We are about to improve that everything, but it's such a large amount of old stuff we are not really able to keep track of, right? So the most important thing, in my opinion, is to have a good quality, to have it easy accessible and not distributed over 20 different places or something like that. So if somebody checks out an example and wants to play around with it, it has to work. And if he discovers some outdated tutorial or something like that, and he plays around with it and it doesn't work, and then he goes to the forum and doesn't get an answer within a day, yeah, I guess we know what this guy will do, right? And this is something that must not happen, in my opinion. And we need to make sure that those people, that they get helped. That's also something the community can do. If you know places where to look up something and you see something is outdated or something like that, then let us know or provide information. Yeah.
Yeah, Anita also suggested we could even have a separate AMA for this topic, because this was mainly about, let's say, the new contribution program. And I mean, of course, it's important to discuss this as well. But now we're a bit over time already, and maybe it would make sense to even have a separate AMA just to discuss these issues. I wanted to go back to some of the questions in the chat that I could not see before because of the presentation. There was a question, in order to receive an award, which wallet should we use? I think I also mentioned this in the presentation, but just to show you again, I can show you some of the wallets that you can use to claim your rewards. One sec. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, so this is just from the Aeternity website. So here you can see, for example, Superhero, AirGap, like the, I would also suggest for now also Base. And you can, of course, also use Box, which is also being worked on very strong in the Chinese community right now. The others, Atomic, Arcane, Wallet, and Trust, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not using them day to day, let's say. But from these, I would definitely suggest you AirGap, Superhero, Base, and Box Wallet.
Yeah, I can extend that a bit. We have an awesome Eternity repository, which I updated quite recently. So this is really something that is up to date, and I checked every wallet that is included in that list. So they all
Marco,
work.
can you quickly show this overview? I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, I can post the link.
Yeah, that will be good as well.
One second.
Then in the meantime, I will go on to other open questions from the chat. Will people who work on bounties have meetings together? Not necessarily. First of all, it's thought to have like the written communication directly on the GitHub issue. But if you have like more open questions, I mean, it should not always be the case, but if it's like a very like important topic where it's necessary to have a call, I guess you can also organize that. But in general, I would just suggest you to also join the jam sessions, which we have weekly every Wednesday, and just ask your question right there. I think that should be good enough. Like, you don't have to have extraordinary calls just to discuss particular bounties. You should come with your questions either to the jam session or just directly have the question written on the GitHub issue, or even better on the forum. Okay, Marco shared the awesome Eternity link here in the chat in case anyone wants to review, let's say, the up-to-date tools that we can use right now. I can also just show it to you here again. So here you can see in general the awesome Eternity, where you have lots of things like news and updates, community, white paper, protocol, infrastructure, official hosted services, explorers, faucets, wallets, dev tools, the apps, education, exchanges. So this is like the most complete overview of resources in the Eternity ecosystem that I've ever seen. So really great work, Marco, here.
Thanks.
So yeah, here you can see browser extensions, custodial wallets, hardware wallets, also Ledger mobile wallets. And yeah, I think this is the complete list of wallets for this question. Then we had another open question from the chat. One sec. Movement building bounties would be more than welcome. Undystopia, maybe you can tell us a bit more what you mean about this. I think this is an interesting proposal.
Yeah, thanks for reading it out loud. Yeah, but someone already pointed out that these bounties are super technical, and there's, I don't know, some of us, at least me for sure, who's not into the technical part of things and still would like to contribute. And we're looking for ways to create content, education content, real life use cases, document them. If not just thinking about videos like what Nikita is doing, but also like research or sort of like real life stuff, what would actually increase token value over time as people see that they worth something to do with, or like you can do real stuff with them. So yeah, just an idea from my end.
But I mean, what kind of movement, just to give an example?
Like movement building is quite like means that real life community building a movement around eternity, in a sense that not just technical people understand the technical upsides of the chain, but also normal non-technical people understand that this technology has real life use cases like transaction solutions, or like real life data tracking, or crowd data recording, or anything basically that could or like, for a matter of fact, that how do I onboard artist communities to create more NFTs that people can trade with, or how do I onboard tomato growers for that? Also could be an interesting use case. Maybe not now and not for eternity, but yeah, you see my point, I think.
Yeah, Anita also suggested this would definitely go into foundation grants, but I mean, it's cool to discuss this here as well, because I think it also goes into the social element, let's say, of æUnited and of any collaborative platform. And yeah, I'm sure like in the future we could again have this kind of meetups or workshops where we can definitely explore use cases for I don't know, retailers, or for artists, or for anyone who, let's say, we already have the tools for an easy enough onboarding to get started with Eternity.
Yeah, just for clarity, I'm the rabbit too, so I'm not just Undystopia, but
yeah, great to meet you. I've seen you. You've been really active.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from basically, and yeah, just looking for my best way in. Looking for how do I spend my time to get the most valuable output for the whole team, and where do I, dig? Yeah.
I really appreciate your efforts, especially like getting the in-depth user feedback. I think this is also really urgently needed to improve all of our systems. So yeah, looking forward to see also more coming out of that.
Yeah, there's more to come. Stay tuned.
Great, thanks.
Cool, thank you.
Then we also had a question about int types. I don't know if this was resolved already. Drawn. Or maybe Aryan, are you here? Maybe you have an idea about that issue, like about the different int types. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just last question. Sorry, with this whole thing. I know that you said the answer to the question that the ambassador program is already like finished, basically with the United program starting.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, it would still make sense to sort of apply to be an ambassador from a movement building perspective and to conduct these interviews. Could I just slip my application, before the door closes on the form still?
I mean, yeah, I think we need to discuss that further. But from my side, I think especially like ambassadors who are already ambassadors should still be ambassadors. Not like you stop being an ambassador. You in your free time, of course, you still represent aeternity, and especially like not within a bounty program, but in general, let's say speaking. It's always good to reference yourself to the contributions you've done before in the ecosystem as an ambassador. And like I said, for future bounties, we might consider having the ambassador application, let's say, open again. But for now, not. Like I said, it's just æUnited.
Thank you.
Then here we have a question, how are we going to take over Ethereum and BSC? I think in general, the key is really to, like Marco already mentioned also before and was also discussed in this session in general, like to improve everything, like the community adoption, dev tools, the usability of the protocol, to have more and more use cases developed, and in general adoption. I think adoption is key. And all of us basically go out there and yeah, grow the ecosystem. And I think æUnited is the way to go. Marco?
I think such conversations like this here and æUnited, or the channel sessions in general, every Wednesday happening. So the community building movement, exactly what Undystopia.chain was saying. Or how he is acting and engaging. We need these people like you here that are interested in the protocol, improving it, and yeah, spreading the word on Twitter, everywhere. Yeah, it doesn't help us if we stay in our small Telegram chat and complain about Gate.io exchanges. We all know that, and there are people working on solving the issues. Yeah, but yeah, we need more positive, like it was said before, not AE Army, which sounds a bit violent. So yeah, æUnited. Yeah, let's move into the future together and see how we can spread the word for aeternity.
And maybe just so we're actually more united also as a community, like less infighting and more like actually acting also as united.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, guys, I think we're already 20 minutes over the time limit. I think we should definitely have another AMA session for the topics that have been mentioned before. And in general, we will, of course, have more Q&A. Annie, you want to have a quick question?
Yes, sorry and thank you. Sorry for keeping you 1 more minute. So just to follow up based on the ideas you just provided, I also have one idea, which is a result of all these good brainstorming. So, okay, for the grant, as we mentioned, it's something which is a good format for longer projects or more important protocol improvements or work on attack and things like that. So I'm thinking, what you guys think if we potentially think about how to channel the bounty ideas you have, something in between bounty and grant, and then see is there any way to incentivize that as well, meaning this community movement proposal is amazing, and that is not a full grant, but it's not a bounty, it's something in between, right?
It's in the gray zone.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking now that maybe in the next days we should definitely open on a forum some thread where we can keep those good ideas there and then find a good way to put them into action.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah,
we will definitely make a complete review of everything that was said here. Also, this is recorded, so we won't forget anything that was said here. And yeah, really looking forward to see you all coming up also on future discussions. I love having this dynamic session and to have so many people coming on here, really. We also need more of you to come to the jam sessions. Usually there's just, let's say, 10 people, and I think we could also be with a few more people there as well coming. So just making a little promo here, we have our next jam session on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Omar is the moderator. Maybe you want to say a few words?
Hey, Eric, thank you. I think we had a great session today, and yes, would be super nice to have everybody interested on discussing, on creating. That's the idea of the jam session, mostly create and see what we can make. So I hope I can see more of you next Wednesday.
Awesome. So yes, stay tuned for more. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks for organizing, Eric.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, all of you, team. Bye.